So Ace threw up an interesting video the other day. Now this one is about Black Ops 6's Season 4 and Warzone Season 4 at that, being a step in the right direction. And I believe, based off of the thumbnail, he's specifically talking about the realism and going back to military base and not being Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles running around. But I also think he might be a little bit wrong. This is completely based off of the thumbnail. So I'm curious to hear what he has to say, and then I'll give you kind of my opinion on it. But it's an interesting concept, hence why we're talking about it. What's up, guys? My name is Ace.
What's up, guys? My name is Ace, and Season 4 of Black Ops 6 is right around the corner, and just today we got the blog talking about the Battle Pass and bundles that we're going to be getting, and normally I don't make a video talking about these blogs, because for me, I really just care about the gameplay. I'm not here to be advertising skins for you guys or anything, and it's just not something that particularly interests me. However, this time around, I wanted to talk a little bit about the skins that they're showing us, and especially how they're presenting these skins, because it does feel like...
Okay, so let's take a look. So these are the highlights. We have, first of all, Adler, main character, Stitch, main character, and then all military-based operators. Now, the weapon blueprints are a little bit different. That being said, I really like this heatsink one.
Like we're seeing a notable shift
but Black Cell down in the corner.
In the general style of skins, and mainly the ones that they're really pushing front and center. Now, just in case you missed it, quite a while back, I did make a video talking about how I wasn't a fan of how crazy the theme was getting with Black Ops 6, especially So
what we are looking at here, my face was in the way, but he has all of these. Now, here's the important part about this. These skins, aside from Terminator, were not showing off in the roadmap for Season 2. So this was made around Season 2, and these were not roadmap skins, and I have proof of that. This is the Season 2 roadmap. If we have a look at this roadmap, kind of realistic style character, the bundles, they are Terminator based. So I don't know whether we're falling into marketing here or whether Ace is right. Time will tell. I'm curious if he mentions the ballerina thing moving forward.
Early on in the life cycle, it seemed like most of the skins that we were seeing were just totally out there, wacky, had nothing to do with the core theme of Black Ops 6.
Let me pull something up.
Like lots of human-animal hybrids and demons and angels and things like that.
At this point, I don't know if Ace saw the whole blog post. Let me pull something up here while he talks.
That just didn't really fit visually with the theme of the game. And well, like I said, I'm primarily just focused on the gameplay elements. That's really what I care about. And typically, I can ignore the odd wacky skin here or there. It's Call of Duty. I expect some wackiness.
So this is the blog post that came out yesterday. If you look at the first part of this blog post, it's pretty plain, pretty simple. Battle Pass, the Black Cell is kind of like a wild part of it. You look at the right side, those are like, they take the militarized, make them zombies. That's essentially what you're looking at there. But if we go through this, look at all the skins, it's pretty much exactly what I told you. If you go down to the bottom, when we get to the bundles, it's exactly what Ace was describing. So Ballerina, a little bit better, right? Like, it's in the John Wick universe, so it's going to be more down to earth. But then we've got the Goat Ultra skin. It's literally random animal like he's talking about. Olympus, okay, still a little bit weird there. System Breach, better. I like this one. Some people won't. It's a Weaver skin. I personally like it. But then you get into the wild stuff once again. Personally, my favorite skin, I'm probably not going to buy it, but that's as pretty much close as I'm going to get is Adler barbecuing. But yeah, they still have like the ridiculousness of like the goat, that kind of thing. So it still exists.
Especially later in the life cycle for the game. But with Black Ops 6, it feels like they just went all in on that so early on, and the tone and theme was just all over the place. They completely threw out any sort of cohesive tone or theme with the visuals with the game. And as I said, it became impossible to just ignore it, because it wasn't just the odd skin here or there, it was just all over the place. Running into a Ninja Turtle 1 gunfight, and a literal shark-human hybrid the next gunfight, and then a stoner lizard the gunfight after that. It just became too much,
Let's go 1440.
Especially
there we go.
Considering how early it was in the life cycle. And when it came to my issue with this, I definitely wasn't alone on that. I made the video talking about it. It was quite a popular video, and I had a lot of people agreeing with me. And the topic did spread in the community like wildfire. And it seemed there were a ton of people that were feeling the exact same way. Now, it is worth mentioning it's not everybody. A lot of people love that crazy wackiness, and they want to see more of that. And that's totally fine if that's the route you want to take. But this is where the topic of having a potential toggle came up, where for the people that don't want to see all that wackiness, they could have a realism filter or a milsim filter or at least a human filter, so only human skins would show up and all the ridiculous non-human skins wouldn't appear just for them on their screen. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't look like that filter's coming anytime soon. We haven't heard anything official about that. There was a rumor circulating that Activision was considering it and working on it and actually was going to bring it to the game, but
nah.
That was spread by somebody who's just known for trolling in the community. That wasn't actually a real legit thing. That was just like a community wish list sort of thing. However, a little while back, the Ghost of Hope, a notable leaker in the community who definitely has some inside connections with some developers, mentioned that they're talking about showing some more restraint, at least, when it comes to skins and bundles and microtransactions. And even though crossovers are quote-unquote printing money, they heard the criticism that the game is starting to look stupid. And therefore, at least long-term, it looked like they're going to start dialing that back a little bit, while still having some crazy, wacky stuff.
Again, I think they need to reevaluate how they do their microtransactions as a whole. I think like the way that they're doing it right now is causing so much bloat in their game. Like put the realistic side back, like put that away. Like it should be camos, it shouldn't be blueprints. It should be operator skins, not operators. And then it reduces the bloat and then make them more realistic. And then you can kind of have fun from there.
They're just not going to be putting as much emphasis on that. And I think we're already starting to see that a little bit with Season 4. If we just scroll through the Battle Pass skins, for instance, primarily on the non-Black Cell side, the Black Cell side is definitely way more out there, but for these standard skins, these are much more along the lines of what I would expect out of Call of Duty and what I'm totally cool with as well, where they may not be totally realistic milsim skins, but they're at least grounded in the general theme of Black Ops.
And Barbecue Adler, I think we can all get behind that.
And
I think it says on the apron we got a barbecue to do or something like that.
Throw any immersion in the game out the window. Like we've got the Stitch Prisoner skin. That one looks pretty cool. Fits with the tone of the game. I've got no issue with that. You probably wouldn't see a soldier running around the battlefield like that, but that's okay. We don't need to be going that far in the other direction with Call of Duty, just something that actually ties in with the theme. Then
like things get a little bit more wild with the Black Cell. Like I'll move out of the way there. Like you're going zombie.
We've got this Nocturnal Scout skin.
Also, I hit the wrong button there. If we go back, that symbol that they're bringing it back, kind of important.
Something that actually ties in with the theme. Then we've got this Nocturnal Scout skin. That one's very milsimmy and tactical. We've also got this FBI skin for Pain, or this Bounty skin for Gray, which is a really cool and grounded milsim sort of a skin. Then we do have one that is a little bit wacky and out there. This is the Chow Time skin for Kane. But even this one, as silly as it looks, at least it's human, and I can see it at least kind of tying in with the theme in some way. When it comes to this, I'm totally fine if they want to stretch the limits to a degree like this. The main issues I have are when they really start pushing the limits, where the characters no longer become human, or it's just so far outside of the general theme and tone of Black Ops. So that one, well, silly, I'm still fine with that. After that, we have the Dread Warden skin, which is another tactical skin. Not like fully realistic by any means, but also totally fine within the theme. We've got the early release skin for Toro. That one looks fine. We got a really cool Adler skin, the Truth Chaser skin. This is really the type of skin I want to see. That's an excellent skin for the game. We've also got the Shrubwise skin for Nazir. We've got the Dead Tide skin for Marshall. And then finally, for completing the Battle Pass, you get the Stitch Yard Dog skin. And overall, looking at all of these skins in the Battle Pass, not on the Black Cell side of things, this is much more along the lines of the skins that I would love to see in a Black Ops game. And I really wish this is the general route they would have taken in the earlier seasons of this game as well. However, in saying that, I don't
know. It's really, really weird. Like when we look at the seasons as a whole, it seems like there was like a point, like end of season 2, where they just made a turn, where they're just like, okay, we're giving up on this Avalon stuff. Like season 4, we're in Iceland. We're giving up on this Avalon stuff. Screw these crime families. Let's get more back down to earth, more traditional Black Ops style story. And then we get this. It's really weird. Like, I don't know if someone behind the scenes was like, this is what we're doing now, or if this was always planned. I don't know.
I don't want to be completely misleading here. There are some bundles coming, and these bundles are pretty out there, and are just as crazy as some of the other crazy skins we've got. Now, the first pack we've got here are 2 ballerina skins from the John Wick ballerina crossover. And these ones...
Ace, if you don't like the Adler barbecue skin, I'm going to be mad at you.
They're totally fine. This is the type of crossover
We might crash out on Ace if he disagrees.
that
with
I think
me.
works really well with Call of Duty.
Agreed.
So much better than the Ninja Turtle crossover. I also heard rumors that there will actually be a John Wick skin, and I even
It'll be the top selling skin of all time for Call of Duty if he is, and maybe they are announcing it in a different way, which I could absolutely see. They will do a whole trailer with him. It might be the one bundle I actually buy, just to be clear.
saw some
Unless it's a freaking event thing. They better not do an event, premium event. I would be
apparently
pissed.
leaked images of this, and I'm going to hold off on showing those just in case they are leaked. But I think it's possible they're just really good fan-created images.
Probably.
I'm hoping I'm wrong on that. I hope they're legit. But this is an excellent crossover, and I'd love to see more like this, because this stuff actually could tie in with Call of Duty. However, beyond that, we've got the goat skin. So now we've got a goat-human hybrid, or at least a human wearing a goat mask and has a goat companion for a finishing move, just like the unicorn finishing move. We have the Olympus Bolt Mastercraft Ultra skin, which is also pretty out there and kind of fits the general theme of the whole angels and demons and god skins. Then we've got one called System Breach. This one actually looks totally fine in my eyes. I think skins like this fit just fine. Then we have a couple different cell-shaded skins.
This one's about me.
We have Ink and Smoke, as well as Arcade Champ.
This one I don't love.
When it comes to the cell-shaded skins, I think it's kind of neat in a way, and they stand out and they're unique. But at the same time, having an entirely different art style and forcing that into the existing art style, I do think is quite awkward, and I'm not a huge fan of how that actually looks in-game.
Show the good one.
But to each their own. I know a lot of people are really into this stuff. And then finally, we've got the Dress to Grill bundle, and this is just Adler in an apron. And while this one's...
We've got a barbecue to do. Whatever happens, we've got a barbecue to do. Awesome. I don't know how people... I'm very curious what that note says on there. Interesting that the weapon says #1 dad, because we don't know whether or not Adler is a father. I wouldn't think so, but...
It's a little bit silly. It's far from the craziest skin that we've got in the game, and I honestly don't even really have a big issue with this one.
Thank you, Ace.
And there we go. That wraps it up for all of the skins we're getting. Like I said, there's definitely some crazy, wacky ones in there that I would rather not see in Call of Duty, but I also accept the fact that wacky skins are a part of Call of Duty. And the big thing for me is just not having them take over so heavily like they did in the previous seasons. And it's good to see the ratio seems to be improving here, where we're getting far more grounded skins that actually fit with the Black Ops theme and setting.
Like, I legitimately think if they do an actual, not the ballerina skin, if they do a John Wick skin, it'll be the top selling Call of Duty skin of all time. I would put a lot of money on that.
Compared to the wacky skins. Also, since that report from the Ghost of Hope came out like a month and a half ago, I highly doubt that really gave them much time to completely pivot on this, as many of these skins probably would have been well underway or already completed even. I think it's largely the presentation of this as well, the fact that they're not really putting much emphasis on the really wacky skins, and they're putting a lot more emphasis with their advertising on...
Even if you actually go look at trailers, they have removed a lot of the ridiculous skins from trailers. I'm very curious. We should probably get the launch trailer. I don't know when this video is going to come out. This might be out on the weekend, depending on how much news comes out with Season 4 and any other games. I'm not sure when this video will come out, but I'm interested because I think today is Wednesday. It's the Wednesday before the launch of Season 4, which is coming. We should get a launch trailer either today or tomorrow. I might make a video on it or not, but I'm curious to see what skins they show off in that. Like, if the GOAT one actually appears in there or not, I'm willing to bet it doesn't.
More milsim style skins. I think that's more of an indication that that's the direction they're going to be heading in. And I really hope I'm right on this, and this isn't just a random fluke and they just happen to go this direction for this one season. But of course, when it comes to this, time will tell. At the end of the day, gameplay is still my...
Actually, I'm probably wrong. We're probably going to get patch notes today. Yeah, we'll probably get patch notes today.
Primary concern. We're waiting on the patch notes still for the update, which is coming on Thursday. So the patch notes, historically, with this game at least, they have been coming the day before the update, which I really appreciate. So hopefully tomorrow we'll have the patch notes and I can start going through those things. And this is where I want to hear from you guys in those comments down below. How are you feeling about the skins that we're going to be getting for Season 4 relative to some of the previous seasons? You guys like the fact that we've got some really...
I do think it's hilarious that he's playing in a game with a TMNT character on the
solid, grounded skins that actually fit in with the Black Ops theme. Or do you want to see more wacky skins? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already.
It is an interesting idea, though, because I do really actually think that there is a subset of people who want the crazier skins. Obviously, if they're selling, they do, right? Like, I don't even think you have to like argue that. So obviously those ones sell well, so they put more in. But then this is the big, but then I think it's a barrier to entry thing. Whereas, yeah, the people who are playing the game are fine with it and they'll buy it. But if you go and like are your outside party, like say you're at school, you're in college, and your buddy's like, dude, you got to check out Black Ops 6. And then you go and watch the most recent trailer and you see all of these like a goat man running around, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. You're like, dude, I'm not I'd play Fortnite if I wanted that, right? Like, do you see like the barrier to entry thing that it may cause? So it's an interesting thought process to see, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? But as a whole, I think Ace is probably right here. I think I'm interested to see what the launch trailer looks like. And I'm interested to see if whether or not they add like what season 5 will look like, what season 4 Reloaded will look like. If they do a John Wick crossover, I'd be surprised because they didn't show it. But then I'd be like, yeah, you shouldn't have showed it. Shadow drop that thing, you know? But we'll see.